Hey guys, it's Bharath Ghani with Urban Asian, and today I'm joined by the one and only Apoorva Krishna. How are you today?
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's such an honor. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you again. I'm doing great. Very happy. The album Only Love Is Real. Oh, we have Nidhi here with us. Um,
Oh,
you know,
so the new album, Only Love Is Real, spearheaded by
yeah.
the single White, which is out now everywhere. Tell us more about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so this album actually has 7 tracks. It's a labor of love and it's a truth, of course, the title, that I return to again and again, in all kinds of moments, uncertainty,
Mhm.
loss, growth, joy. I
Yeah.
mean, that one thing that remains love. It's all about kind of that realization. And so um I'm so grateful for all the people and artists and collaborators who have helped make this dream come true. And yeah, it's just divine, right? This gift of
Yeah.
music and the power of music and its healing powers and um especially in this world of, division and so much going on, I think it's really beautiful to just speak from the heart.
That's beautiful and so powerful, So starting off, how did you get started in music?
Well, I was 6 years old. I come from a musical family,
Mm.
and I was born and raised in the US, and then I moved to India during middle school. And so my mom tells me this story a lot. I don't remember, but when I was 6, I went to the temple with my parents, and I was pointing at um, my guru, Shrimati Anuradha Sridhar. She had a concert there, and she was playing a violin solo recital, and I was pointing at her the instrument, and I was looking very fascinated. And that's when my parents thought, it's something she really loves. And so that's how it all started. And I continued learning from her mother, Shrimati Lalgudi Shrimati Brahmanandam. And yeah, that's how my Carnatic training, started, violin and everything.
Yeah.
And then I went on to kind of later pursue my master's at Berkeley, Valencia, and then my postmaster's at Berkeley, Boston. And yeah, I think in contemporary music and stuff. So I think just being exposed to so many worlds and cultures and traditions from around the world, really it was the biggest gift that happened for me, biggest blessing. And to know that we're all just it's music is a universal language, and
Yes.
I think it really just unites everything and everyone. And yeah.
That's so amazing that you mentioned that, because it truly is the universal language. And I think it's so underrated, like the power of music, like it can really bring us together, right? And it's amazing that you fuse your Carnatic
Roots, yeah.
training with violin. I think that's so amazing. Growing up, who were your biggest influences?
Um, I would say my grandmother, Srimati
Hmm.
Shakuntala Murthy, she's a Carnatic vocalist. And so she kind of really initiated me into music, Carnatic music, growing up, as a baby. And of course, my gurus. And I think, my parents, also my mother sings, my Aarti Murthy, my father's a percussionist, Murli Krishna. So just growing up in a musical family, musical home, really it in one way also gave me no choice but to kind of continue the path. But I think, it was all a big gift, and that was my whole world, more than any school or more than anything else that was happening around. This was kind of the main path.
That's amazing. It's so important to have a supportive family and,
Family.
especially a family who's in music as well, right? Who's your dream collaboration?
Oh my gosh. I think the the biggest dream come true that happened in my life, it's still unbelievable every time I think about it, was this encore performance of a very special song with the founders themselves, legendary, John McLaughlin ji and Zakir Hussain ji.
Yeah.
It all happened at the Harvard Business School during, this whole huge doctorate program that happened for Zakir ji. And so
Yeah.
uh it was incredible. I mean, I had no idea it would happen. At the very end, everybody, clapped after the performance, and then they requested for like an encore piece. And so they wanted to present Lotus Feet, which is a
Mm,
Shakti band
yeah.
masterpiece. And so that's when they kind of invited me on stage all of a sudden, and it was, oh my God, to see their, friendship and their relationship, and to just sit next to them and just be a part of that moment. It was, complete dream come true. Thanks to the Berkeley and Ensemble and to them.
Mm.
And it was just, surreal. I was just crying the whole time, and it was so beautiful. The video is on YouTube also. But yeah, I think that was my, that's it. That's for me, I remember that at all times.
I love that. That's huge, man. Congratulations on
Thank
that
you. It
again.
truly, truly a blessing. And, anytime I'm down or even, I'm very happy, motivated, or I want to practice more, that's what I think of. And, it's just a very special moment in the heart.
Of course. Sometimes it's really important to look back on those, accomplishments and realize that you're doing it. You're actually doing
Oh
it,
my God.
right? Especially in this industry, which is a roller coaster, right? There's so many ups, so many downs. But it's important to know that,
Yeah.
right? Going back to your growing up, I understand that you were born in Jersey, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yes,
perfect.
yes.
So you were born in Jersey, and then you moved back to India during middle school, which is pretty rare, I would say, especially for like,
Yeah.
a lot of us here in the US, right?
Yeah.
Moving back. So how was that experience like?
To be really honest, for me, for a little bit, it was hard, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
so many differences and challenges, but and it was for music. I mean, that was the whole plan.
Yeah.
um it was just a whole turning point. I was confused. I had no
Um,
idea what was going on.
yeah.
School, it took me a bit to kind of, switch,
Adjust.
and
Right.
so many, subjects were different, and like everything, right, from history to
Mm.
honestly even like English, or like the, mannerisms and the cultural. It was a lot going on. And so, but it just took about a year or two, and then, I think friendships and, you
Mm.
know uh just actually being a part of the music community here locally, that was the biggest learning for me. I also remember kind of participating in so many competitions, and it was very exciting, I think, then something or the other going on, and some concert or some competition or some, and I think after a point I realized, I made the greatest friends, and everybody was so warm around me. And it took a while, but then, after that I realized it was the best decision. And I think it was just so much exposure for me to kind of really get um into the musical culture and the roots, right? Being here itself, it's a
Yeah.
different experience. It's completely, just going and listening to so many concerts and meeting different peers and friends, doing the same thing. And I think just drowning myself into the culture. That was something very beautiful. And I mean, yeah, I feel like thanks to my parents, they really thought about this at the right time. And um I think it's natural to kind of feel confused initially, but
Yeah.
it was definitely a beautiful, beautiful choice.
That's a beautiful story, actually. I think that should be shared a lot more.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to
Mhm.
young South Asian or, Indian artists?
I think it's just so beautiful to know where we come from.
Yeah.
And personally, in my experience, I know, I was pushed into doing all these things, and I didn't really have much of a choice. And I know in a lot of cases, people do learn, especially like say either Bharatanatyam
Mm,
or music, right? And then
yeah.
maybe after high school or after a point, it's too much with college and stuff. And then it's like, um but I think it's really beautiful. Maybe for some people they come back to it later in life, and
Yeah.
or they just love listening to music and just or watching, performances. And I think that itself is very beautiful, because as artists we're nothing without, our support and community. And I think coming together and just celebrating,
Mm,
our rich culture and traditions, and there's nothing better to kind of you know be so happy about, and it's so deep, right? There's so much, right? Stories and just I think it has to come from within
Yeah.
also. But I think sometimes it just takes one experience to really be like, wow, sometimes when it's really forced, it's hard. And I
Yeah.
understand when you're growing up and it's like you don't even know what you're doing, right? You have to just go
Yeah.
to part, to class or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay, it's great. Sarigama Padanisa.
Yeah.
But I think there does come a point later where you really do feel connected in some way. And um I think, yeah, for me it did happen, but like there's one thing about doing it because you have to, and then doing it because you want to, right? And
Yeah.
um maybe it's just a matter of like coming back to it later, or like um just listening a little bit, or just going to or supporting a friend, or it's it all comes together at some point. And I think it's really beautiful to know where we come from in some
Yes.
way, or what there's so much to appreciate. And just it doesn't even have to be to learn and replicate and do all these things, but just to
Yeah.
go and watch, and just like how we would if for other cultures and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's powerful.
I mean, I don't
Um,
know if this answered anything, but I
no,
just
no, it
like
sure did.
have it.
It sure
Yeah.
did. No, I love that. I love that. So, as we know, this industry has like a lot of ups and downs, and
Hmm.
it's a crazy industry, right? What's the craziest story that you have about the industry so far? It can be good, can be bad. You don't have to name any names. Just yeah, something that stands out to you that's happened so far.
I feel like um so since I'm a Carnatic
Mhm.
uh you know like that's kind of my foundation, right? And
Yeah.
so I've just started to kind of explore other things and
Okay.
compose my own stuff, and enter the indie scene,
Yeah.
and so it's a very small niche, right? And it's sometimes hard to kind of play 20 shows, and just set up a tour, let's say,
Yeah.
or and just sell out the play. Like it's hard to kind of really um I would say really build your career when you're doing things that are not so um easy listening, or you know what I mean.
Of
So
course.
I feel like that in general is something that I kind of struggle with. um and I hope that more people um feel like supporting the art, and
Yeah.
coming out to more concerts, because there are just incredible artists out there doing amazing things. I mean, uh it's just endless, the kind of work that's out there, right? So I think it's not exactly like an industry thing, but I think it's maybe it's harder for managers to book shows for
Mm.
these kinds of artists, maybe too, because sometimes they're like, oh, how many tickets can we sell, or they need to know kind of some information before, in order to take that risk. And then so it's like it's a vicious circle, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like, okay, but we need that opportunity to be able to kind of um spread the word. And it's we need we need to trust each other to kind of get into this process, right? So I think I just pray that somehow with time these things get easier,
Yeah.
especially in the independent music scene,
Right.
because it's relatively easier when you look at um, other very
Of
like if you
course.
look at Bollywood, or if you look at something more easy to listen to and relatable, and
Pop stuff.
that's very
Yeah.
understandable. But especially for instrumental indie sets, it's even more hard, because
Of course.
sometimes it's like um, there's no vocal as well to kind of
Where's the singer?
speak.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. But and it's all very understandable to an extent. I see where everyone's coming from.
Yeah.
Um but it's I hope there's something that can be done about it. And there's so many people who are doing so many things to really help and support all of us here. And so yeah, we just got to keep going, be strong, and keep doing what we do, and remembering why we do what we
Yeah.
do. And that's because we really love the art and
Yeah.
music and you know the community. So I feel like, yeah, this is a thought that I do have now and then.
I love that. That's a great answer, you know? Like especially now with like a lot of AI stuff coming out and all that. I think people are gravitating towards like the more niche stuff, like what you do,
Mm.
you know? So
Right.
that's amazing. Great answer.
Thank
So
you. Yes.
if you could listen to one song right now, what song would it be?
Oh my God. Really. Um, well, because we talked about the earlier experience, Lotus Feet by Shakti.
Beautiful. That's right here, right now, huh? I love that. It's amazing.
Yeah. And the
What's
version with mandolin Srinivas playing the main melody.
Oh yeah, fire.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite instrument other than the violin?
I love listening to the piano.
Piano. Great.
Yeah. It really
Yeah.
soothes me. I don't know. It's sometimes
Yeah.
even more than the violin.
Really? Okay. That's
Sometimes,
interesting.
yes.
Can you play the piano as well?
I play a little bit.
A little
Not,
bit?
I mean, I'm not like trained, but yeah,
Okay.
I love a little bit. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. That's great. In one word, what does music mean to you?
I think in some way, like I would say truth.
Truth. Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's a great
I
answer.
think the music is something you cannot run away from, or I mean, I'm talking about expressing
Yeah.
music, or um it's just so one with the experience that you're having right at that moment, right? So it's, I think that way, I guess. I hope it makes
Powerful.
sense.
Truth. Who's your favorite Indian actor or actress?
Oh, wow. Oh my God. Hmm. No one's ever asked me this before, actually. Yeah, I like Amitabh Bachchan.
Okay. Classic
So
answer. I
funny.
love it. That's good. That's good. Good answer. Good answer. What is your favorite Indian movie of all time?
Can it not be, does it have to be
Sure.
Indian?
Doesn't have to be.
No, but
Favorite
okay, if it's not
movie
Indian,
of
then
all
I love Finding Nemo.
time. Ooh, wow. That's a really
Yes.
good answer.
Yeah.
That takes me back. Yeah. Great
Yeah.
movie. Great movie. What is your favorite Indian dish?
Oh, wow. Um, that's hard. Dosa.
Dosa, yes. You can't
Oh
go wrong
yeah,
with dosa, right?
any day.
Very
Yeah.
nice, very nice. What's the best piece of advice that you've gotten so far?
I think it's to remember as much as possible, because it's sometimes hard for me as I get carried away to kind of enjoy the process. And
Ah,
um tend to worry and stress a lot. I'm sure a lot of people, have this problem, but kind of just hoping that everything is okay, or ends up being fine, or nothing goes wrong. And you know all these thoughts that are just unnecessary sometimes, right? Where you could just enjoy whatever's happening, enjoy the ride, and not kind of be too output oriented, but just kind of process oriented. I think that's something that really um I need to work on. It's the best advice for me.
no, that's amazing. That's honestly one of the best
Yeah.
answers I've actually gotten so
Hmm.
far because it's
Yeah.
true, right? Like that is just it. It's that simple sometimes. You just gotta enjoy the
Yeah.
process and not try to ruminate
Enjoy the
on
process.
thoughts.
Hmm. Yeah.
What's next for Apurva?
Oh my God. Well, I actually just premiered my album Only Love Is Real at the Kennedy Center on
Oh,
October 17th.
congrats.
Yeah, last month.
Yeah,
And that was really, really special. It was, done for the first time live in front of about 200 people. It was great at the Millennium Stage.
yeah.
And now the plan is to kind of take that forward and do some shows in India as well, and some in the US early next year. I think we're kind of planning for all of this right now.
For a tour, for a world tour. I love it.
I mean, yeah, that's the hope. But yeah, at
Yeah.
least a couple, special performances here. Yeah.
That's amazing. We're so excited for you. I'm so proud of you as a culture. I'm
Thank
I'm
you. Thank
personally a
you.
fan of your work. I think
Yeah,
it's
thank
great.
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Means a lot.
You know,
Thank you.
Y-
Thank you
you're
so much.
welcome. Where can audiences find you and social media and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so my Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music. I mean, the album is out on all, digital streaming platforms, and most of my music is on, YouTube or Instagram. I need to be more, you know,
Active.
regular, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you can find me there and talk to me there, and I'd love to chat with anyone who's more interested about the journey and the process and everything. And I'm so grateful again thank you so much for inviting me here today.
Of course.
Yeah, I'd love to share, anything anyone has, any questions, whatever, just hit me up on Instagram or we can chat.
Beautiful. Absolutely amazing, Apurva. Thank you so much again. Congratulations on the new album and the new single. We're
Thank
so
you.
excited to see you here in the US at some point. And
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. Thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you,
You're
guys.
welcome.